Okay, so many words were spoken in the past few weeks about shocking advertising by us, and today I'll try my very best not to repeat all this info which we mentioned, and today will mainly focus on the advertising as a whole and its impact on society, on something else. Well, first and foremost, obviously, we should start with the definition. And there are many authors who took part in defining it. So the basic definition, according to Gustafsson in 1994, it's something that initially startles or scares and offends its audience. Later on, it was modified and it was added that the offense is created by norm violation, disobedience of law or custom, going against moral and social values, or the things that outrage moral and physical senses, and using sexual references, obscenity, vulgarity, and so on and so forth. So from all this, we can develop our own definition of shock advertising. It's the one that suddenly grabs viewers' attention by creating a buzz, an uproar, and somehow violating moral and social norms. But at the same time, it reflects the serious problems of society, its environment, and outlines the crisis of our political and economical system. So, in our daily life, we come across many different advertisements that suddenly grab our attention. And the main thing is an unexpected factor. So this is the thing that makes the difference, the standard advertising and shocking advertising. For instance, we've seen many examples of Benetton, and I'll show some of them. So what they do is they maximize the receptiveness of taboo breaking, so they influence subconscious minds of ours. Then when consciousness finally turns on, we realize that it's hidden message, and afterwards we understand that it's a brand that produces clothing that has something behind it. So let's take a look at once again. We've seen some of them, but probably the first one we didn't. The Unhate, I can't say the exact year, which was that, but I think it's really, this advert hasn't really lost its bottom line, because considering the recent situation with Edward Snowden, with Syria, we don't need no Cold War, no real one. So probably they attach the problems, the political problems. The picture on the right, we can see the problem, which is huge in Russia, for instance, the corruption, as far as it looks like a politician with the money. China probably has solved this problem. We know that by law. Law is much stronger there.
And punishment is much more severe.
Are huge, yes. You know, they not so long ago seen a couple of examples. The third campaign, which I found, it was launched in 2008-2009 in order to help African entrepreneurs. Yes, they are entrepreneurs, because we know that the level of poverty is absolutely huge in Africa, and but still, these people are living with their craft, and while they try to sell something, and at the same time they fight with poverty, and they couldn't, and that's the huge problem. They couldn't get along with that. And Benetton explained that Africa doesn't want charity support, they want repayable and subsidized loans. So, shock advertising, we know, directly affect the viewers, and we know that the message is conveyed, or is already in our subconscious mind. And the secret of successful commercial is to find the weakest nerve of its viewers. So I consider it one of them. It's motor oil producer Elf. They decided to employ heroism to this advert, and frankly speaking, they have much more common sense. It's more of a common sense than emotions, because if you read that, people who did some heroic things, and they are some kind of endorsers. Another type of advertising is the one was created by charity organizations, voluntary organizations, or environmentally, like WWF, PETA, and so I think that liberty should be absolutely free here, because it's about nature, and I think it says it all. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and we know that shocking advertising, oh yes, and like such important social matters. We know it's a very controversial subject, pros, so let's consider some of the pros and cons. So, as for the positive side of the medal, the consumers are more likely to remember this kind of advert than some normal ad without any shocking blood or something else. Another thing, they create a huge amount of publicity and attention to the firm and probably to the advertising agency if they put their ink on the advert. The third thing is that they increase people's awareness about such social matters like harmful habits, diseases, needs for donating, charity, fundraising. And the last thing, which is good, it's educational mission. So people, probably if children will watch it, they would that would influence their perceptions, morals, again, passion, way of life. And something for against. First of all, many people consider them scary, offensive, and not for them. They might just switch the television off. The shocking advertising can slightly be compared to a drug addiction, because yesterday's shock is already common. So they need to inject something more every time they come up with something probably more scary or something like that. However, using nudity, fear, and something else might not always be that effective, because researchers said that in short term, companies might get some additional gains, but in long term, it might not only damage its reputation, but damage companies' volume base, if not destroy them completely. So to conclude my speech, so I'd like to give this statement that different people have different views about this kind of advertising. For somebody it's a savior, and for somebody it's just a trouble initiator, but still it works and it's effective, probably because of the fact that they touch very important social matters. So, thank you.